Okay, ready to do this?
Let's do it with Scarecrow. Yeah.
Let's do it. Hi out there. This is Belladonna. I want to do a special shout out to my daughter Bushka and also to Brendan Ramsey. Brendan, you know this fellow over here. This is Shawn W.
Good morning.
And he's my neighbor, and we've been busy, shooting the shiza over here and just talking about flim flam. We have morning discussions quite often. Shawn and I met years ago, about maybe what, 10 years
Probably
ago?
approximately, yeah,
Almost 10 years ago,
10
I
years
think.
ago.
Yeah, it's been a while. We actually met in a moment of solidarity because I was dealing with a really crappy neighbor. What my dad, Bushka, what your granddad would call a fop. Okay, that's an old timey word.
Toxic relationship with
Very,
the couple.
very.
So,
And, uh, and it was very interesting during that time too, because the whole neighborhood also showed a sign of solidarity. That was how long ago?
oh
Probably
boy,
about,
when they cleaned up everything,
yeah,
and took out
all the garbage.
moved the garbage out of the
They
neighborhood.
moved
This
their,
neighborhood is so different from when we first moved
dude,
in.
well, it
Yeah,
kind of went from night and day.
yeah.
And
A major community cleanup.
that's been happening in pockets all over the city, and it's an uphill battle, and it seems like the ones who are really battling it and making progress have been, the common people who live in the neighborhood together, working together. Um, but Sean W. over here, dude, he's a Northwest guy. You grew up in Nebraska, and then you moved
Well,
to Idaho.
I spent 10 years in Nebraska. I was young when I moved, so
Mm.
I'm mostly Idaho and Seattle or Washington.
Yeah,
So
yeah. But, Idaho as a teenager,
Pacific Northwest.
Pacific Northwest, and he knows a lot about the Idaho history, political too,
Yeah.
and a lot about pop culture. And Sean worked with Brendan at the Pike Place Market, and you guys went through the WTO riots together
And the earthquake.
and the earthquake. Bushka, when that earthquake happened, what year was that? What, that was about 2001?
Yeah, I worked there from like 2000, 2001, around that time.
Okay.
So yeah, so
My
it was 2 years. So
dude, my daughter was at the elementary school in the
yeah.
South End, and
Did she get shook up at all?
she got shook up on some playground
Oh no.
equipment. Honey, I don't know if you remember that, but it happened.
How old was
And
she?
I would say about 8.
Okay, so
Yeah,
she might remember.
long time ago. And Tombo, if you're out there too, hello. All my love to both of you. But yeah, that was quite a while ago. But W over here worked at the most famous video store in the city of Seattle. And it's still growing, but it's turned into a non-profit thing to keep
Been
going.
nonprofit for quite a few years. I was a casualty of that being laid off, but it was good because what we got, we were able to get volunteers, we were able to get grants,
Right.
and the store wouldn't probably. And it's got like 9+ lives it's had over the years, but
But still going strong.
still going, still going.
It
Yeah,
started around when, 1987 or
late
so?
80s, late 80s, somewhere
Dude.
88 maybe. I'm
Dude.
not positive.
And rare videos and CDs and things that
Things you don't know. There's not a single streaming package, including Netflix, out there that has the number of titles. I mean, they got foreign, they got silent, they got things you don't want to know about.
Yeah, things you
It's
don't
things.
want to know about.
I mean, they got all kinds of
Yeah.
eclectic stuff too.
Yeah.
You know,
Anything,
anything and everything.
from Oscar gold to, I don't know, blue.
Yep.
But anywho, we won't go there. But yeah, Scarecrow over the years has been very, very, very popular, and it's near the University District. Actually, it's kind of closer to where we live, right? It's in
Kinda,
between.
yeah, it's in between.
It's
It's
in
kind of
between.
it's in the northwest part of the U district.
Right, of the UW area. So I want you to tell the viewers out here about, well, W has met so many celebrities. And dude,
We brought in. There was a guy that worked there that was really good at getting people to come in and do signings and stuff. We had one I just remember. We had Billy D. Williams come in. We had David Lynch. We had the Kids in the Hall. We had Charles Band. We had Lloyd Kaufman. We
Yeah.
had just a lot of
all kinds
all
of
kinds
people.
of people.
All kinds of
So-
people. And tell me what year, if you can remember back, Quentin Tarantino. Quentin Tarantino. Tell me all about it.
It was in a period of time I actually was not Toei. A period of time I was not working at Scarecrow. Actually, I was working with Brendan in the Pike Place Market at the time. But I happened to be at Scarecrow Video, nevertheless, because I still would go in there and rent movies, of course. And
How did it all begin?
well,
Start
basically,
from the
I'd
beginning.
heard that.
This is
I heard, and I stuck
incredible.
around on purpose because I heard that Tarantino was on his way to check out the store. I knew he was in town, Seattle International Film Festival. He was doing talks. This is around 2000, 2001.
Okay.
But
Long time.
come to find out, he didn't use a taxi. He didn't use the public transport system. He decided to walk to Scarecrow from downtown Seattle. Had no idea how far that was. Showed up.
I've done it
Summer.
for exercise.
Sunny summer day in Seattle.
What was the temperature? Tell me all
I
about
don't remember,
it.
but he had a sunburn on his face.
And how long did it take him?
Oh, I think 2 hours.
Over 2 hours,
At
I
least,
think.
gotta be over 2 hours. I don't think
Yeah.
you could do it in 2 hours. I think it was like most of an afternoon.
Because from here to walk downtown, and when after I broke my wrist, I went through intense physical therapy. I was really lucky. I had one of my, because I have low blood pressure, and I was working split shifts, and I had broken my wrist when I stepped off of a curb wrong. So I call this my jewelry, and I can lift 70 pounds, but I was lucky I had one of the best surgeons in the country. And I did a lot of physical therapy. And dude, I'm just saying, when I was getting back in shape and getting back to work, because I had to be back to work full duty, okay? I would do that walk, not both ways, but it took me
You take
a
it a long
good
time both ways.
3.5 hours
Yeah, that sounds more correct.
to
'cause
build
I think
up
he'd,
muscle and to get in shape. So Quentin Tarantino,
I think he
and
probably
I did
took
not
most
do
of
this
the
on a
afternoon.
hot day.
It was a hot day. He was sweaty.
God.
He was sunburnt. But he still was Quentin Tarantino. He's very eccentric.
Red.
He bought some product that he couldn't find other places. I do not remember what he bought, of course.
What did he say when he walked into the building? Because you were like one of the first people to see him.
Yeah, well, I knew he was coming, but I kind of stood in the background and just kind of observed.
Dude.
But he talked to my boss, my former boss, or who the boss was at the
hey,
time.
Gus.
Actually, wasn't my boss at that time
Yeah.
when I was working there.
Gus
But
is saying hello.
hello, Gus. But yeah, and my coworkers, helped him purchase some stuff. He walked around, looked at it, because we are. He definitely wanted to check us out. We're world famous. Video store, 2 levels. 2 levels
Of
of
everything.
everything. And we showed him his section. We have a director's
Yeah,
section, and
special section just for
so
him. And I could just imagine him out of breath
yeah,
and sweaty. And didn't he say he didn't realize it would be that far?
no, he
He,
wasn't.
he thought it would only
He's
take
kind
like
of
20 minutes.
he's he's eccentric. So he just thought, I'll take it. It's a beautiful day. I'll take a stroll to Scarecrow, and nobody told him, or he didn't bother to mention it to the motel,
Oh,
or
dude.
call us and ask.
Just did it on his own. No
No Uber. I
bodyguards.
don't know if Uber existed
Uber
then.
did not
Not exist. So
exist.
when you were
No
talking,
yellow
he could
cab.
have took a taxi, I guess,
Yeah.
or public transport, but no, he just decided to
Just
hoof it.
decided to that's an old timey word,
Hoof
dude.
it,
Yeah.
yeah. And
Gosh.
yeah, it was cool. And my the guy that was working, that was boss there for many years, still works there. Him and another guy that worked upstairs gave him a ride back. So to the motel he was at, because they were like, well, you deserve it if you spend a whole afternoon coming to see us. That
I know.
the best we could do, least we could
Oh,
do is give you
man.
a ride home, or give you
And
a ride to your hotel.
especially with these streets,
Mhm.
because they're so uneven.
I'm surprised he didn't get lost and end up in like somewhere completely wrong.
Yeah, completely wrong.
Walks into a different video store.
Because a lot of people, they will get lost if they don't know their way around here. It's just impossible.
2000, did we have cell phones at that time? We did, right? No?
Well,
Is that,
barely.
okay.
You had like the
Tarantino might have had one.
Nokia flip phone.
Oh, the flip phones. Oh, those were fun to text on. You have to hit the button 3 times to get the right letter, and I didn't like texting back then.
And we still had pay phones too.
Oh yeah, payphones.
Yeah.
Some of the kids don't know about.
Well, in some of the old school cafes, you'll still find. I know at
Yeah.
places like, I
They'll
don't
still,
know,
they'll still show up. I've seen some.
Neighbors,
Yeah.
maybe, places
Yeah.
like that on Capitol Hill or uptown.
You can find movies at Scarecrow that feature payphones. In the days before cell phones.
Absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, give me one more of your favorite celebrities that went there.
Oh,
Gosh.
Werner Herzog.
And what did he do?
Tell
us about
He
it.
was shooting a movie. He was here for the film festival too, I want to say, or he was the screening of a movie, and I can't remember what it was, but it had Brad Dourif in it, who is the voice of Chucky.
Dude.
But he's been in a lot of stuff too.
Dude.
And if you ever, the guy that did the scheduling for a lot of the celebrity visits, he did the commentary on a bunch of his movies, and he asks him. He's kind of navigates it by asking him questions and
Right.
getting him engaged. And he'd met him at some point when he was going to this pretty popular school. It's more popular on the East Coast, actually, Evergreen and Olympia.
Oh, yes.
They don't do grades there. It's experimental
No.
college.
That's full of like SJWs and all those protests and stuff,
Yeah, they,
to run out the teachers. When was it, like 2 years ago?
no, did they?
Yeah,
Were they having
yeah.
problems?
The whole, you will address us as this or that, and the whole freedom of speech thing
Wow.
kind of went down the toilet,
Yeah.
That's a big deal. So
Yeah.
you're the commentator. God.
Yeah. Yeah, I know a lot of people that went to Evergreen. It's just gives it this alternative school structure that doesn't. What I've heard from it.
It's like its own bubble
Yeah.
of reality.
I don't think it's respected on the West Coast as much. It's the thing is, you got to be devoted, because you don't get grades, so you get out of it what you put into it,
Yeah.
and you're just kind of guided. And the thing is, you can
Guided by
pretty much get a degree in anything you want, including Bigfoot and parapsychology, cryptids. So
Don't go there.
we won't go there. Not today.
Because I've been talking with Shawn, because special shout out too to Mike DeMann. Shawn was actually around me when I was taking the time of kind of my own, I don't know what you would say, my own crawling out of the pit, so to speak. And Big W, you helped me when I was beginning the ideas for my memoir. And
The precursor to the YouTube.
all he was saying, all the weird, incredible, accurate childhood memories and things, and all of that. So, yeah.
Digging in the dirt, as they say.
Digging in the dirt. And shooting from the hip. So, yeah. Tell me about David Lynch.
David Lynch was interesting. He's been very obsessed.
One of my favorites.
This is when Inland Empire came out, which was one of the first movies he shot on digital.
Okay.
Because he's made the transition. Not something I'm a fan of personally. I do love his movies, everything leading up to that one. But I'm not a fan of that one. But he was doing a signing, and of course he's famous. People wanted to come see him. We sat him upstairs, which what we did was people of his, celebrity status.
Dude.
And it had a line because it's one of those ones that we had a line that we had to monitor, and it went on for a good 4 hours or more. And Seattle's for a very long time has had no smoking indoor policies. So
yeah, that's
but
true.
you can't do a signing with David Lynch, and he's a chain smoker. So we kind of cut some corners there, just to say. So, but anyways, this is a period where David Lynch wanted to talk more about, what is that meditation he's into?
Yeah.
Transcendary, I can't remember, transcendentalism, I don't know. Anyways,
yeah,
it's the
I don't get
really
into that really
intense,
either.
I've meditated before, but this is like serious meditation. And he wanted to talk about that more in his movies. He was trying to sell it to people that were coming up and getting signatures and stuff. So, but he's definitely as weird as you'd expect. So, I like the guy though.
As weird as the Northwest.
So, yeah.
And Twin Peaks,
Twin Peaks, yes.
When Twin Peaks came out, I was in high school,
Mm-hmm.
and I was way too busy.
Yeah, I never saw
working.
it originally. I was a fan of David Lynch, but I didn't have cable or access to it at that time, and it was before you had.
Well, you also had the Elephant Man. That's one of my favorites.
Wow, it's like
Anthony Hopkins.
That might be his first movie.
Gosh, that was in the early '80s. No, the first
Eraserhead.
one was Eraserhead.
Yeah, it was kind of that's bizarre.
That's bizarre.
So that's a
but
weird one.
the chick who was the log lady in Twin Peaks was also in Eraserhead.
Oh, okay.
Amazing.
That doesn't surprise me. So
amazing. And one of his lifelong employees, because he kept people on. Oh, he also did Dune.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah. He did some big movies before he went into what I would call the more definitive Lynch. Like,
dude.
What am I thinking of? Mulholland Drive, or what was the one before that?
Oh, gosh.
With
I know
Bill
who you're
Pullman
talking about.
Lost Highway.
Lost Highway.
Or Blue Velvet.
Oh, gosh.
Blue Velvet's like the beginning of the true Lynch period.
I actually have that on video still.
Oh, yeah, I have it on DVD.
Dude, yes.
The year. We could go on and on about
we
that
could
movie,
go
though.
on
Dennis
and
Hopper,
on and just
Dennis Hopper's most
go down
disturbing iconic roles that he ever had.
Go down Lynch.
I won't start quoting
wormhole here
because it's not safe for children.
Well, in Twin Peaks, though, the Double R Cafe, well, that was all filmed in North Bend, right?
Somewhere
and
around here,
the restaurant based on that whole thing is still there to this day. And yeah, they still serve pie and coffee.
They do pie and coffee, and they have an annual Twin Peaks festival.
Absolutely.
So, and they get a lot. I know a guy that goes to those kinds of things, and they get a lot of the. He's got photos with like Sherilyn Fenn and Kyle MacLachlan, and
very common, those old school diners too. And when I lived down in Houston, Oregon, Bushka, the first cafe that I worked at, which is across from the county seat courthouse there, is a lot like the Double R Cafe, you know, in the Twin Peaks. But I was too busy working there, and I kind of went through my own Twin Peaks kind of moments. And right now I have my new roommate moving in, but we're still organizing around and doing spring cleaning. And so right now, well, today is Saturday, so we don't have too much construction going on. But as soon as
Today's Friday.
things, oh, is it Friday? See, that's what
She gets all
graveyard
messed up 'cause
shifts
she works night
do to
shift.
me. You know, sometimes I don't know whether I'm coming
I've,
or going, and it all melds together.
I did it for
in like a couple of days. Seems like one day.
I spent a couple years doing it, not near as long.
Well, you did
as
split
you.
shifts,
I did
dude.
split shifts too, which are crazy.
Crazy.
You have no normal sleep.
Downtown.
I never knew what time of day it was.
In one of the fanciest hotels
Yep.
in Seattle, dude. So yeah, but later on I'll be talking about Houston and Rosemary and Catherine and Ann. I want to say hello out there to you too and send you my love. 'Cause yeah, there were some intense moments and intense memories about that area, you know, and all the good and the bad of the Pacific Northwest. We're going to delve into it. So, anyways, I got to be at work tonight, and anyways, I will see you guys later, and Shawn and I are going to,
we'll jump in and talk about all kinds of stuff. We got the tip of the iceberg here.
We got just the tip of the iceberg.
Just the tip.
And NW tends to shoot from the hip, and he gets me going.
That and the coffee she makes is very excellent.
The coffee I make is from this old school percolator here. Now, I've had this, Bushka, since before you were born, and I got it at a thrift store uptown. Gosh, 1990. I've owned all kinds of coffee makers over the years, and I quit about 10 years ago. I've had an espresso maker. I've had a French press. Actually, I've had more than one French press.
Me too.
Either they sucked or they broke.
They break.
Auto drip. You know, cowboy coffee is great because you use like a carafe or a tin can and an old bandana, and I learned that in the Forest Service.
That works for, camping, outdoors.
But the stovetop percolator is the best, and it makes the coffee as black as my eyes, and it's great for making tea as well. So, yeah, W and I hang out in the morning, and, you know, you tend to shoot from the hip, and we're going to get more into it, too. I think this is great.
Yeah.
So,
crazy stuff.
Anyways, we'll delve into more things. We'll delve into some of the nasty history, too, of the Pacific Northwest. And also, we'll delve into the forest because your major, when you started at UW, it was going to be in forestry.
It was what I have a degree in, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Undergraduate degree in natural resource management and environmental science. So,
and
which was what they used to call forestry.
Dude, and he knows some pretty people who are really into it and know the goings on. And yeah, we still have forest fires going on right now.
No, it's not going to change.
And it's not going to change for quite a while.
Bad. Lots of poor, like my hometown in Moscow, air quality is, it's always
really bad
for everybody, not just sensitive types.
Right.
We're going to start seeing it here. I haven't really noticed it much. I have asthma. So I definitely am affected by it.
Right.
Sensitive, what they call sensitive types.
Last week, though, we did see some clouds.
We dipped into it.
We
yeah.
dipped into it. It wasn't rain clouds. Today, there's some rain clouds.
Yeah, today's not too bad.
Not too
I
bad.
did get a whiff the other day, which is probably what you're talking about, where it smelled like a crispy barbecue. That's what they call the forest fire. So.
It was pretty smoky.
Or it might have been a barbecue. I don't know. But it was,
yeah,
it's been getting smoky.
it might have been a
It might have just
barbecue.
been a barbecue because it smelled kind of meaty.
Dude,
So,
could have been a Sasquatch. Anyways,
who knows?
I have to work tonight, and yeah, I'll get things organized a little bit better, and as soon as the noise cuts down, I'll start bringing out some stories in the living room. Because these two are test videos, and in time they're going to improve.
They are.
So anyways, to everybody out there, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I will talk to all of you later. Love you. Belladonna out.